used offense to be the best defense, 41-2 over the South Bend John Adams Eagles. That game on the road at School Field. And on the other side, the Huskies of South Bend St. Joseph, 7-0 over New Prairie. The game not for the faint of heart. It was one of those ground and pound games. And as Coach Ben Downey will tell us later on, it was just a bunch of will and skill that prevailed. And the Huskies coming in with their second win of the season. Going to bring in Mike Rock first. And Mike, as we look at Marian coming back after those first two losses, they really got going early and often against Adams. It was 7-2 after the first quarter, but after that, it was all Marian as they rolled to an easy victory, 41-2 over Adams.
Well, I think what you have to remember about Marian's two losses is that they were against quality opponents. They lost to the Mishawaka Caveman, and they also lost to Culver Military. Culver currently undefeated right now at 3-0, beating Knox last week, and Mishawaka currently at 2-1, beating Penn High School, but losing by a point to the Concord Minutemen last weekend.
And Jaden Yost, as we bring you in as well, St. Joseph, they needed a big win in a conference game, and they got it last weekend. 7-0. It was a little bit of everything, a lot of defense, though, played by St. Joe, and they have a good core linebacking front that is going to give this Marian offense some problems in tonight's game. But I'll tell you what, when you get a win in the NIC, doesn't matter if it's 7-0 or 41-2, a win in this conference is big.
Yeah, I mean, this St. Joseph linebacker core, I mean, you got 29 tackles, 37 tackles, 31 tackles, and 35 tackles across the board. You got 6 tackles for loss just from Kobe Addo alone, and 3 sacks just from these interior linebackers. So just something to look out for from this defensive front of the Huskies. Just if Marian's able to put a body in front of these linebackers, they might have a chance to drive down the field, but otherwise these linebackers are going to wreak some havoc.
Tonight's game of Marian Knights football on the Regional Radio Sports Network brought to us by the United States Marines, the Ronald McDonald House, the Laborers International Union of North America, Beef O'Brady's, McDonald Physical Therapy, Troy Gill, Jamal Packaging, and the DeRoll family, Hoosier Spring Company, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, and Harris and Sons Construction. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we will go one-on-one with the head coach of the St. Joe Huskies, Ben Downey. Get his thoughts not only on this game, but what was it like to actually be a player in the mid-90s in this matchup? We'll talk about that and more with Coach Downey right back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
hcmichiana.org.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A-plus rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
Since its founding in 1954, Hoosier Spring Company has developed into one of the world's leading manufacturers of custom springs for the aerospace, military, and commercial sectors. 3 generations of the Suff, Lintec, and Nitz families have demonstrated their commitment to Catholic education by providing tuition assistance to numerous students attending Catholic schools and by providing financial assistance to numerous other area Catholic school initiatives. Go Knights!
With Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, our online banking and mobile app are like having a branch at your fingertips with everything you need to manage your bank account 24/7. Enjoy better banking when and where you want it. Features including bill pay, money transfer, budgeting, early payday program, and much more. Head to NotreDameFCU.com to learn more and get $200 when you add a direct deposit.
We had a chance to sit down pregame with Ben Downey, the head coach of the St. Joseph Huskies, and get his thoughts, not just on today's game, but the greatest rivalry in northern Indiana. That's the Holy War here between Marian and St. Joe. Welcome back to Regional Radio Sports Network's coverage of Marian Knights football. The Knights set to take on the St. Joseph Huskies here in Holy War 24, the 64th meeting between the two private schools in the Michiana area. Glad to be joined pregame by the head coach of the Huskies, Ben Downey. And Ben, let's go back a week ago. How about that slugfest? You guys in New Prairie, neither team willing to give an inch. In the end, you guys come out of New Carlisle with a well-deserved 7-zip victory. Just talk about what you saw out of that game that you liked, despite the fact it was so low scoring.
So what I liked was just how hard we played. Thankfully we've done that each of our first 3 games, but this time we played as hard as we possibly could. We had a lot of fun out there, but we executed the game plan better than we have the previous 2 weeks.
Holy Week this week. You've played in a number of these contests as a St. Joe grad yourself. What do you remember the most about this rivalry, this matchup, going back to your playing days?
Well, I mean, as a player, it was an absolute blast. We went 4-0, and no matter what level I was at, we won. So, at that point in time, we had quite a program humming, and so I have nothing but wonderful memories of my playing days against Marian.
Talk about the school environment this week. Every team, every fall sport in action against Marian. Just talk about the environment, how the students were getting involved, how they're pumping up these guys all throughout the week as they get to play in this game tonight.
Yeah, so there's so much excitement throughout the week that you kind of get that feel of like a Friday Night Lights type thing, or All-American is what they watch now on Netflix. But you get that vibe where, just the community's really, really excited. They always love football, but there's just a little more juice when it's this particular week.
You're a third of the way through the season, 2-1 on the year. What are some of the things that you have liked so far this season, but what are some of the things at this point you would like to see some improvements on as we're getting to turn the corner into October?
I love our senior leadership. I love our coaching staff. I love how hard we play and how much fun we have when we play. And what I want to continue to improve would be our mentality and our habits. I believe discipline in every sense of the word is what can be the deciding factor on how we do the rest of the way.
Come into Otalski Field against the Marian Knights, both teams hungry for a win, but what do you guys got to do offensively, defensively, and on special teams to come out of here not only with a win, but a rivalry win at that, and be 3-1 by the time this one's over?
Well, they're so explosive on offense that we have to make sure that our offense actually scores, a number of touchdowns. So in order to do that, we obviously have to establish a run game, keep them off balance, pass protect when everybody in the house knows that we're throwing, and just make plays. Defensively, we have our work cut out for us. We really love our defense, but it just so happens that these guys have just a group of skilled guys they've been excited about for 4 years. So, there'll be some challenges out there to defensively, but I'm excited for it. And then special teams is the usual. I mean, both programs care about special teams, so it's going to come down to who wins the field position battle.
Ben, best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
J-Mill Packaging is celebrating 50 years in business as the area's premier box manufacturing company. The DeRoll family is committed to leading J-Mill Packaging as a world-class organization through innovative corrugated solutions and helping people win. At J-Mill Packaging, everybody matters. Let's go, Night Nation.
Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Fish and Chips Fridays. Enjoy 4 fried cod fillets with fries and coleslaw for just $10.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com or call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports.
And call Troy Gill, your local licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Northern Indiana. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing, so let Troy help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 574-360-0791. Speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, whether virtually, by phone, or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Call 574-360-0791 today. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc., licensed in all states and Washington, D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll. We continue here on the Marian Knights pregame show. We got a chance to sit down with the head coach of the Marian Knights in his 6th season here with the blue, silver, and white. That's Mike Davidson. And get his thoughts not just on today, but on the greatest week in high school sports between these two teams. Back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network, the 64th meeting between the Mishawaka Marian Knights and the St. Joseph Huskies. Holy Week, coinciding Holy War here on a Friday night. Glad to be joined by former Marian High School great, now the head coach here at Marian High School, Mike Davids. Hey, you made fun of me for being from the dark side. Let's go back to last week. 41-2 abomination of South Bend Adams. Defense was absolutely outstanding. Just talk about just what you saw from them and what they did to make Adams' life miserable in a game that you guys thoroughly dominated.
No, I think, and even the first 2 weeks, I thought our front seven, I know we gave up some plays, but I thought our front seven played very well, and it happened again last Friday. Our front seven, particularly our front four, Seth Cruziter and Eric Logan, were a nightmare for their offensive line, and it started there for us. And you know that makes life easier on the back end when quarterback's scrambling and got to throw things away. And so I think it all started there for us defensively.
This is Holy Week. We've had pretty much every fall sport playing against each other. You guys hosted girls soccer on Wednesday, volleyball in what was quite possibly the most raucous environment I've ever seen at the high school level, and the game tonight. Just talk about what the environment around the school has been like, especially the last 3 nights.
I'd have been there last night, but I was busy with Paul over at Beef O'Brady's. No, I was thrilled to see that outcome for our girls. Disappointed with the outcome, but we got some major injuries with our girls soccer program right now. So for them to go into penalty kicks and with I believe is another top 5 program in the state, like, it says a lot about them. So environment around the school is exciting. You know, we had every day it seemed like we were playing them. I think boys soccer was Tuesday night, if I'm not mistaken, and we lucked out and get to host 3 out of the 4. And so it's an opportunity for our school to just come together a little bit more closely. Not that it needs to come together any more closely, but just is an easy thing to unite us all.
Usually you and I talk about the players in the pregame, but I'm going to turn the table a little bit. We're going to talk about you for a second. What are some of your fondest memories from playing in the Holy War and now coaching in the Holy War?
So as a player, it was both my senior year. In the regular season, coincidentally, it was the week of 9/11. That happened on Tuesday, and the game got moved to Saturday. And we had the opportunity to share the field with them and hold a big flag out here in the middle of the field before the game. And that, like, I'm getting chills talking about it now. That is a memory that I will never forget. The other one, as a player, I don't really remember as much. This was pre everybody's diagnosed with a concussion. I got dinged early on in the sectionals, and ended up having the game of my life. A couple of turnovers, I think 2 interceptions and a fumble. Ran for over 100, and we won. Most importantly, we won. So those were 2 as a player. As a coach, the big wins stick out. That's sort of easy. Where we had a nice run back in the late teens, early 20s. And I remember probably the most special one. We had gotten our butts kicked my first 3 years as a coach, 06, 7, and 8. They'd made their state runs a couple of times, I think. Very talented teams. And we lost in the regular season. Came back and we were playing them here and in the sectionals, and we took it to them and ended their streak of beating us. That was a special one. It was the first one for me as I was an assistant coach, but still the first one's always pretty special.
You're a third of the way through the season. You guys are 1-2 right now, looking to go 2-2 after this game is over. But what are some of the things that this group, a very talented group, still might need to improve upon before the end of the season?
It's been a week-by-week deal where, opening week, I think we played well really for a quarter. I mean, we were up 17-7, but first quarter was not pretty on really either side of the ball. And then we played well in the second quarter, and then we couldn't get off the field defensively in the third and fourth. And offense, we shot ourselves in the foot. We went 3 and out and a couple of turnovers. And so we've improved on those little things that we don't shoot ourselves. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot, whether it's a wrong step, a penalty, a misread, a misalignment defensively. We're eliminating those. We still make them. We're far from perfect, but the more we continue to stride towards that, the more dangerous we're going to be.
I'll get you out of here on this 64th meeting between these two schools. It's the 4th longest continuous private school rivalry in the state. You look across, see the quote-unquote evil empire. Ben Downey's in charge over there. What are some of the things that they do that could cause you guys some problems? But more importantly for the Marian Knights, what do you guys have to do to come out of here with a Holy War victory?
Their defense is playing at an extremely high level these first 3 weeks, so we got to take care of the ball and control the clock a little bit, and not give them a quick 3 and out, a turnover, something along those lines. And defensively, we got to make them one-dimensional. I mentioned our front 4, our front 7. They've been doing a good job all year long, and we got to use them to shut down the run game, and then we can, they got a dangerous passing game. 18-4 are both very talented receivers. It's a little easier to defend if we know we're able to get pressure with our front 4, and we can drop a little bit more into coverage and adjust in that manner. So, and then ultimately kicking game, it's won and lost this game a couple of times. So we got to win the field position battle, not turn it over, and hopefully we get a score of our own.
By the way, hope you have a couple of 2XL shirts that you can give me after the game is over, so you can outfit me in Marian blue.
Amen.
All right. Hey, best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Just want to thank both Mike Davidson and Ben Downey for their time. We know coaches, they don't have a lot of time to spend with us, but we are very, very, very appreciative that they do. Our coverage of all Marian High School athletics on the Regional Radio Sports Network, presented by our friends at Harrison Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harris & Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harris & Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior and exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harris & Sons Construction, call 574-514-2104.
Since its founding in 1954, Hoosier Spring Company has developed into one of the world's leading manufacturers of custom springs for the aerospace, military, and commercial sectors. 3 generations of the Suth, Lintek, and Nitz families have demonstrated their commitment to Catholic education by providing tuition assistance to numerous students attending area Catholic schools and by providing financial assistance to numerous other area Catholic school initiatives. Go Knights!
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is a proud partner with Marian High School. As a supporter of the Knights, you are eligible for a Notre Dame FCU membership. Open an account and request an Elevate debit or credit card, directing 1% of all purchases right back to Marian High School. Head to NotreDameFCU.com/elevate to support Catholic education and help offset the cost of a student's tuition.
Tonight's game being sponsored by McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center, located at 1005 North Hickory Road in South Bend. For over 3 decades, McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center has been helping Michiana get stronger every day. Their phone number 574-233-5754, website www.mcdonaldpt.com. JP Jabert, Jaden Yost, and Mike Rock. So glad you could join us on your Friday night here at Otalski Field. St. Joe already on the field with the white road jerseys, the black pants, black helmets with the blue and white trim, the Columbia blue numbers on the front and the back outlined in black. And as you can see to our right, Marian getting in the group prayer and the very apropos sign, take the Huskies to the pound, as the Knights are getting ready to run right through it. Wolf is right. Knights will be in the full blue with the white trim. Marian on the front across the shoulder blades. Numbers in white on the front and the back. And we'll get our officials for tonight's game. Mike, you got them?
I do. Mike Burke is wearing the white hat tonight. Roger Griffith is the umpire. John Walona is the back judge. Mark McCannon is the line judge. And Phil Tusky is the head linesman.
We'll get you the starting lineups for tonight's game. We're going to start with Jaden Yost with the Mishawaka Marian starting offensive unit. And they got a good offensive line. It's going to be headlined in the middle by Preston Shue, taking over for Giovanni Garcia de la Torre, but he's got a lot of experience that are surrounding him.
You got number 53, Caden Lee, 6'1", 273, junior right guard. You got Dorian Brooks, number 56, 6'1", 236-pound junior in that right tackle spot. Number 64, Mark Warbington, 5'10", 254, senior in that left guard position. And number 69, Prescott Horvath, 6'8", 297, junior in that left tackle spot. You got Lucas Marr at the helm, number 5, junior, 5'10", 178. In the backfield, behind him, number 7, Aiden Hansen, 5'10", 177 as a senior. Number 2, Brian Osman, 5'5", 150 as a senior. And wide receivers, Deuce Owens, number 1, 6'1", 200-pound senior. Number 17, Jack DeRoll, 6'1", 168 senior. And number 3, Braxton Brooks, 5'10", 189 senior.
That vaunted St. Joe defense will be trying to keep the Marian Knights at bay. Front 3, 73, Khalil Murphy, 5'8", 210-pound senior, 12 tackles on the year. 53, Alfred Fultz, 5'11", 205, and a junior in the middle. And number 54, Diamond Curry, 6'3", 240-pound senior, 18 tackles, couple for loss. Murphy, Fultz, and Curry, front 3. That linebacking core that we made mention in the pregame Number 8, Max Aronowski, 6'5", 215 pounds, 29 tackles from the left outside linebacker position. Kobe Adu, 5'11", 215-pound junior, team high 37 tackles from the middle linebacker spot. Owen Balint, number 5, 5'8", 181-pound senior, 31 tackles for Owen. Luke Short, number 6, 5'10", 175-pound senior, 35 tackles from the right outside linebacker position. Aronowski, Addo, Balint, and Short, the 4 linebackers. And the secondary, number 11, Jack High, 5'10", 155-pound, and a senior, 21 tackles on the year. Number 7, James Crenity, 6'1", 195-pound sophomore, 17 tackles on the year for James. Number 10, Ryan Raskowski, 5'7", 150-pound junior, 19 tackles. He even has a sack from the strong safety position. And number 1, Clee Kimbrough, 6 foot, 167-pound senior. Hay, Crenity, Raskowski, and Kimbrough, the secondary for the St. Joe Huskies. We're going to flip the lineup cards over. Mike, if there's a name that's familiar at the quarterback position to Marian fans, that's because Kid Brother is a St. Joe quarterback this year.
Number 15, A.J. Lassane, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, quarterbacking the St. Joe Huskies. And snapping him the ball tonight is number 70, Joey Nesser, 6 feet, 200-pound junior. And the guards, we have number 56, Nick Ortiz, 6'2", 240-pound junior. And number 51, Dakota Ditch, 6'1", 240-pound senior. And the tackles, number 65, Jalen Snavely, 6'3", 300-pound sophomore. And number 66, Lonnie Curse, 6'3", 300-pound senior. The wide receivers tonight, number 18, Brayson Hurley, 6'3", 205-pound sophomore. And number 4, Dallas Downey, 6'1", 180-pound. What year is he? He's a right end. And then you have your running backs. You have number 16, Mason Kazmierzak, 5'11", 195 pounds. And number 9, Brady Longager, 5'9", 170 pounds, senior.
God our Father, we gather here in your name and ask the Holy Spirit to be with us. We are thankful for the many blessings and gifts that you have bestowed upon all your sons and daughters. Most of all, we are thankful today for the gift of our bodies and our minds, that in our activities we may use them to give greater glory to you, who love us above all things. Through the intercession of Mary and all the saints, may we be protected from all harm and inspired to follow the path of holiness day in and day out. We ask this in the name of Jesus, your Son, our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Number 65, the right tackle for the Huskies is Jalen Snavely. He's 6'3", 300 pounds, and a sophomore. Oh, sorry, number 4, Dallas Downey, 6'1", 180-pound junior.
The front 4 for the Marian Knights as the captains are at midfield for the coin toss. It'll be 99 Caleb Johnson, 6'2", 223-pound, and a senior. 23 tackles on the year. Number 53, Caden Lee, 6'1", 273-pound, and a junior. As the Knights will defer to the second half, St. Joe will receive the opening kickoff.
And deferred, Marian will receive and defend the east goal.
As Eric Logan, number 50, 6 foot, 252-pound senior, 24 tackle on the defensive tackle. And on the defensive end, number 63, Isaac Walton, 6'1", 210-pound junior. Johnson Lee, Logan Walton. Linebacker core, Nicholas Quiet, number 34, 5'11", 184-pound senior, 8 tackles. Number 0, Joseph Boone, 27 tackles, 2 for loss for the 5'10", 216-pound senior. And Lucas Primrose, number 22, 5'8", 179-pound senior, 10 tackles. Trying to avenge his sister's team's defeat, his sister on the varsity soccer team for Marian. Quiet, Boone, Primrose, the linebacker core. And the secondary will be Quinn Ron, Braden Smith, Mitch Fimble, Cooper Sooth. Roan and Sooth, the cornerbacks. Smith with a team high 41 tackles in the free safety position, and Mitch Fimble in the strong safety position, 5'11", 168-pound junior. Just about set to get Holy War 24 underway, the 64th annual meeting between the two teams, as the Indians will be kicking off.
Looks like receiving the ball for the Knights are number 1, Deuce Owens, and number 4, Quinn Roan. And kicking off for the Indians is number 59, Zachary Hardy.
So Hardy's going to tee it up, and it's going to be a short kick, and it'll be fair caught by Braxton Brooks, and the Knights will take over. It'll be 1st and 10 for Marian. And they'll have the ball at the 32-yard line. And Lucas Marr is going to bring the blue-clad Marian Knights to the line of scrimmage, and the ball finally placed. So Marr in the shotgun formation. He's got Osmond attached to his left hip. He's got 2 to the far side. Deuce Owens here to the near side. Hand off to Osmond. He's going to shed 1 tackle, and he's going to get stopped after about a gain of 1. Osmond, Mike, coming off a 111-yard, 2-touchdown performance in that win against Adams.
Right. He is their bell cow. He is their main running back. He will be getting the ball most likely and most often out of the Marian backfield tonight.
So Marr with trips to the right. He's got Osmond in the backfield. 2nd and 10. 3-step drops. Going to fire it over the middle.
Nice.
Pass is complete to Braxton Brooks. He's over midfield. And it'll be a first down for the Marian Knights. It'll be a pickup of 20 on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights. Empty backfield for Marr. He's got trips to the right, 2 to the left. As Marr tries to get the attention of his wide receiving core. Instead, Marian will have to burn their first timeout. And this timeout brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with your life, health, and Medicare needs at 574-360-0791. It's 574-360-0791.
Also, this Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family. I think it was a wise decision to take a timeout there. It's early in the game. Your offense is moving the ball down the field. We just want to stay making positive plays here. We don't want anything to stall the drive. As a coach, I would feel comfortable with my quarterback taking a timeout. Let's keep this drive rolling.
Well, second play from scrimmage, Nets 20. And Lucas Marr comes back, same formation. Trips to the right. He's got Osmond in the slot to the near side, and Owens to the near sidelines. He's going to send Osmond in motion. Now 4 to the far side is Marr. Going to fire it to the far side. Pass is complete, and picking up a first down and shedding tacklers on that play is going to be Braxton Brooks. It'll be it's going to be Aiden Hansen out of the backfield. There was a flag on the play thrown late. And it'll be a holding penalty, so that will wipe out the big gain for the Knights. And Jaden, that's the last thing you want to see. You have all the momentum, and then you get a holding penalty that brings your team all the way back.
They have that momentum on their side, but as you can see from that last play, this linebacking core is able to get to Mar. Just Mar's getting the ball out quick.
So Mar with Osmond in the backfield. He's going to put it right into the gut of the senior, and he's going to get one, maybe two.
Brian Osmond on the carry.
And again, yards tough to come by, as we have made mention, this strong
Owen Blake and Diamond Curry on the stop.
as Owen Balint and Diamond Curry stopped Osmond. They're going to give him a gain of 1 as the clock continues to tick, under 10.5 to go here in the first quarter. Scoreless here on the opening drive. Mar again. Osmond in the backfield. Takes a snap. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket. He's going to fire it downfield. He's got a man open, and it'll be caught for a first down as Braxton Brooks makes the catch. It'll be another first down for the Marian Knights.
The Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
Gain of 12 yards.
So yet another first down. This is the 7th play of the drive. And Lucas Marr finding some soft spots in that defense. So Marr sending a man in motion. He's going to hand it off. And nearly losing the footing on the jet sweep is Brooks. He's going to get forced out of bounds after a strong pickup, but there is a flag, and it'll be a holding on the Knights. And once again, Jaden, penalty. You cannot have that second penalty of this drive against the Knights.
Especially when you're moving that ball down the field like this Knights team is doing. The last thing you want is penalties to cost you this drive and turn this 1st and 10 to a 1st and unmanageable. But luckily for them, it's not going to be too crazy. It's going to be 10 yards on a holding penalty.
And Mike Davidson not happy about that one, and he and the rest of the coaching staff trying to figure out this 1st and 20. At the 43-yard line of South Bend St. Joe. So Marr, 3 on the far side, sending Hanson in semi-motion. Going to hand the ball off to Osmond, and Osmond's going to get a couple of yards on that carry. Mike, we've talked about it. These little 3, 4, 5-yard pickups, those begin to wear on a defense the more that this game goes on and the more this defense is on the field.
Right, and as long as Marian is picking up positive yardage on this play, they're pushing the ball down the field like an offense is supposed to do. That's encouraging, and it's going to set up, a play-action pass possibly. Fake the ball to Brooks and then pass it down the field. There it is.
Marr takes a snap, going to fire it through the hands of DeRoll, and it'll be incomplete. So it'll bring up 3rd and 16 from the 40-yard line. It's going to be a difficult catch for DeRoll. And now Marr and company faced with a 3rd down. This is the 10th play of this drive already.
3rd down and 16. I expect a pass on this play. Got motion.
Marr's sending a man in motion. He's going to take a 3-step drop back. He's going to go over the middle and being held as Brooks is imploring for a penalty, but will not get it. And they are going to send out the punt unit, does the Marian Knights.
Looks like number 13 for Marian, Mason Simonowski into punt.
I think it was penalties that killed that drive for this Knights team.
Absolutely.
They had a good momentum rolling with them down the field, but just got hit by penalties, and that really caused a standstill and forces a 3-and-out and now to punt.
Returning the ball for St. Joe is number 4, Dallas Downey.
Downey's going to let that one go. It's going to go right into the end zone. It'll be a 40-yard punt. No return. And the Huskies will take over. So A.J. Lassane is going to bring out the Huskies. They'll start at their own 20-yard line. With 8:39 remaining here in the first quarter. So Lassane with Kazmarek attached to his right hip. He's got a man in motion from the far side. Handoff's going to go right to Ron Gagger.
Braden Smith, number 6 for Marian, making the tackle on that play.
Brady Loneker on the carry.
So 4-yard pickup after that first play from scrimmage for the Huskies. It is getting easier and easier to call them Huskies and not Indians after knowing them as Indians since the time I could talk. There's a man in motion, Lassane, couple step drop, pass is complete on that far side, but hit immediately on that far side. As Dallas Downey on the far side. And Cooper Sooth with the tackle. And Sooth coming up from that corner position, Jaden. It's one of those you have to be 100% sure that you can make that tackle, and Cooper definitely was on that one.
I think Lassane gave him a little bit of time. It was a high throw, just high enough to cause Downey to have to jump for it, and gave Sooth enough time to get to the line of scrimmage. And
so it'll be 3rd and 8 as Lassane rolls out to his right. Pass is going to be thrown away
Intended
on that
for
far
number
side.
7, James Crenity.
So Crenity, who came in as an extra tight end on that play, and it is 3 and out after the first play netted 2 yards. That's all they were going to get. And the Huskies will punt it back. Braxton Brooks awaiting at his own 29-yard line. Ryder Place, who's averaging 39.1 yards a punt, going to get a chance to punt. And it is partially blocked
by number 99 for the Knights, Caleb Johnson.
And the Knights will take over in great field position. So the Knights will take over 1st and 10 inside the 35-yard line. Just remember our coverage of Marian Knights High School Athletics on the Regional Radio Sports Network, presented by our friends at Harrison Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harrison Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harrison Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior-exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harrison Sons Construction, phone number is 574-514-2104. So Lucas Marr back for the second drive of the night. It'll start at the St. Joe 36. Marr, hand off to Osmond, makes a couple of guys miss, and he'll dive forward. And a good carry for the senior. Balin and Adu on the tackle for the Huskies, but not after Osmond picked up a couple.
About 4 yards on that play, 3 to 4 yards, maybe 2.
I was going to say that's a gain of 4, not 2. As it's 2nd and 6. And again, Mara hands it off to Osmond, and Osmond's going to continue to work his way down. So 3rd and 5 now for the Knights. The Knights were 0 for 2 on 3rd down on their first drive. Trying to convert a 3rd down on this one. Snap comes, goes right up the middle, does Osmond. He's got the first down.
This Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
So yet another first down for the Marian Knights.
Gain of 8 yards and a Marian Knights first down.
That's 3 runs in a row to Brian
Tackle on the play by
Osman.
Ryan Ruskowski.
So
4
Bruskowski,
runs in a row.
tackle, and Osmond once again with the football. Pickup of 8 on the play. And Jaden, we made mention as there is an injury on the field. We've made mention of this. If you can get the running game going, it will take its toll on the defense. Doesn't matter how good your defense is, it will start to take a toll on you, especially on a hot September day as it has been in Michiana.
Well, the key to this defense is this linebacking core. And if you've been able to tell, this Marian offense is running like a triple option scheme, and they're reading those linebackers. So there's not much that a couple of these linebackers can do because they're getting read like a book by this offense.
That's Osman's 5th carry in a row. So far on this drive, he has carried the ball for 22 yards.
And Austin Radigan busted through the line and was able to tackle Osmond before he could get any kind of momentum going. So it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 19-yard line. So already the Knights on their 4th third down of the game. Man in motion from Marr. Marr is going to fake the handoff, but we've got laundry all over the field, and it'll be a false start on the Knights. So that'll back up Marian an additional 5 yards.
That'll make it 3rd down and 12. I'm wondering if they're in field goal range
I was
here.
just thinking about that. This would be a 41-yarder for Primrose.
He's a decent kicker.
We've seen him nail from 40 in practice.
And it's such a nice night with really not much wind. Well, maybe a bit of a wind.
So trips to the left for Marr. As the snap comes, Marr flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be wrapped up and sacked.
Kobe
Yaddo, 3rd sack of the season for the junior. And now, with the ball on about the 27-yard line, you'd be talking about a 44-yard field goal. It's actually going to be back to the 28, so you're talking 45. And Simonowski will be back to punt.
And 2nd punt tonight. Number 4 for St. Joe, Dallas Downey back to receive the punt.
Simonowski's punt. Floating up there in the air, takes a bounce, and will go into the end zone with just over 3 minutes to go here in a quick-moving first quarter, as we like to thank our friends at the Hoosier Spring Company.
Since its founding in 1954, Hoosier Spring Company has developed into one of the world's leading manufacturers of custom springs for the aerospace, military, and commercial sectors. 3 generations of the Suth, Lintec, and Nitz families have demonstrated their commitment to Catholic education by providing tuition assistance to numerous students attending Catholic schools and by providing financial assistance to numerous other area Catholic school initiatives. Go Knights.
So Lassane brings the Huskies to the line. And going to give the handoff to Loniger, who slips behind the line of scrimmage. And it'll be a loss on the play. He's the workhorse in the backfield, 25 carries, 473 yards here on the season. And Jaden, he was trying to get going before he could actually get going.
You could see Boone creep up to that line pre-snap, and he's just able to squeeze the block from the lineman. Lineman not able to get a down block. He squeezes past it and is able to get in the backfield and drop him.
Well, if I was being chased by a guy that's 5'10", 216, and ripped like Joe Boone, I would fall immediately. He is just an impressive physical specimen. As Lassane on second down, the ball is knocked down at the line
by number 50, Eric Logan. Well, you know, the secret to stopping a good running back is to tackle them before they start running, and that's what happened 2 plays ago. The Marian defense was able to stop the play before it got rolling for St. Joe.
So it'll bring up another third down. The Huskies were 0 for 1 on their first drive. The yard to get is the 30. As a spread formation shown by Lassane. Lassane, 3-step drop, going to fire it. And broken up nicely. Quinn Roan with the pass breakup. Brayson Hurley had good body positioning, but Quinn Roan, the sophomore corner, punched it right out of his hands.
You know, one thing I've noticed just from watching this game, St. Joe, when they throw the ball, they keep throwing it to the right-hand side of the defense every time. Back to receive the punt for the Marian Knights is number 3, Braxton Brooks.
And Brooks standing at about his 38-yard line. And again, Ryder Place, the punter. And this time, this one not blocked, but not a whole lot of distance on it. It'll take a St. Joe roll, and it'll be downed at the St. Joe 48-yard line. And that's where the Marian Knights will take over. 1st and 10 at the 48. And while we're getting ready for this drive, we want to thank our friends at Beef O'Brady's.
Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features fish and chips Fridays. Enjoy 4 fried cod fillets with fries and coleslaw for just $10.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road. Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com or call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food and good sports.
So 3rd series already here in this first quarter as Marr in the shotgun. He'll send Hansen partially in motion. He's going to hand the ball off to Osmond, and he is hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. And the first one to get him is going to be senior Owen Balint. As Balint's father, team doctor at the University of Notre Dame for the football team. He's seen a couple of big hits by the Notre Dame defense. Hopefully they'll have some big hits this weekend when they travel down to West Lafayette to take on the Boilermakers. As it's 2nd and 10 after the no gain. As they hand off again to Osmond. And a couple of yards on the carry. And this time it'll be Luke Short on the tackle. And it'll set up 3rd and 8 from the 46. So Marian trying to get that running game. And again, being hit by those linebackers. And they're hitting hard down there.
That is the 11th carry for Osmond tonight. And if you recall what Coach Marian said before the game, they wanted to get the running game going so that they could chew up the clock.
Just under a minute here in a very quick-moving first quarter. The ball quickly dropped, but Marr gets it out to his receiver here on the near side. It's Brooks. He's going to switch the field. He's got plenty of real estate in front. He's got the first, and there's going to be a flag, and this will probably be coming back. But what an effort by Braxton Brooks. Nearly had a foot on the sideline, ended up all the way on the other side of the field.
Boy, and that penalty happened far from the play.
And it'll be a personal foul on a crackback block.
A crackback block is when the offense blocks a defenseless defensive player. The defensive player for St. Joe wasn't aware he was going to get hit, and so he was blindsided by the Marian player. That's a personal foul, 15-yard penalty.
So that'll bring this ball back into Marian territory.
And that is a new rule, a newer rule, I should say, to protect players from needlessly getting injured.
So the ball will be back at the Marian 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 13. Almar sending Brooks in motion. Hand off to Osmond, and he'll get across midfield, get about to the 47-yard line, and that is where he will be stopped, and Marian will be forced to punt. And Marian does not have to get a play off in this quarter, and that's exactly what they are going to do. So that'll do it for a quick-moving first quarter. As we've reached the end of the first 12 minutes here at Otulski Field. 0-0 the score between the Knights and the Huskies here at Otulski Field. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll have the second quarter for you right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Okay.
Endless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling. United by purpose. Defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few. The proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
As Simonowski standing back at about his 37-yard line, he's going to let this one go off the boot. It's end over end. It's going to take a Marian bounce. It's going to hop out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. And that's where the Huskies will take over.
According to my stats, which are unofficial, St. Joe only gained 4 yards in the first quarter.
So it'll be 1st and 10. As A.J. Lassane trying to get something going for the Huskies. They've had back-to-back 3-and-outs. As the sophomore going to send 2 to the left, 2 to the right rather, 1 to the left. As quick pass caught here on the near side by Dallas Downey. And the first to meet him will be 26 Cooper Sooth. So a quick 6-yard strike from Lassane to Downey.
And that pass was to the left that time.
Game 6 on the play.
Well, Lassane has been working the sidelines. They've yet to really go deep. Even that pass earlier in the game that was intended for Hurley wasn't necessarily deep. It was actually by the sidelines. In any event, 2nd and 4. Lassane, again, quick drop back and a pass complete to Downey, and that'll be a first down.
Pass complete to Downey.
And Sooth on the tackle. And it'll be a first down after that gain of 6. They'll put the ball at the St. Joe 38-yard line.
Yeah, St. Joe ran the same exact play 2 times in a row. Blitz.
So blitz is picked up, and on the far side, as Kimbrough is going to get into Marian territory. Oh, it's going to be Franco Biffle on that far side. The 0 and the 1, a little difficult to make out. We had it right the first time. It was Kimbrough on the 20-yard pickup. Another first down for Marian, or for St. Joe, rather. As the Huskies, after a very slow beginning to this one, have picked up first downs on the last 2 plays. Lassane, again, fires it. As Mason Kasmerzak on the reception. Or Brayson Hurley, rather. Telling you, one of these days we will get these numbers correct. So Hurley with a gain of 8.
Well, St. Joe picking up a little offensive momentum here with the passing game.
So again, spread formation for Lassane with a single runner in the backfield. Lassane, 2-step drop. Nice pass here, caught by Downey on the near side. The flag flies in.
It's a holding call.
As Braden Smith and Sooth on the stop. Jaden, we made mention when Marian had the football and flags were public enemy number 1. Once again, we see the laundry shown on the field, and this time it's St. Joe that's going to be forced to go backwards.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get Kimbrough with a hold there. Just momentum from both teams. They get it rolling, and just penalties. Like, unneeded penalties are what's killing the momentum of both teams. But let's see if St. Joseph can come back and move forward and get this first down.
So the ball will be moved back to the 48 or 43-yard line, rather. As Lassane, quick drop,
another pass,
fires it to Downey, and he is wrapped up quickly. Again, Sooth on the tackle.
Downey on reception.
We have yet to see Franco Biffle run the ball.
Downey, who came in 7 catches on the year for 79 yards and a score. He has been the number 1 target for Lassane. And now 3rd down for the Huskies. The Huskies are 0 for 2 so far on 3rd down. 3rd and 7. Lots of movement before the play.
Number
and
99.
Caleb Johnson coming out from the left end spot. And he will wrap up the ball carrier behind the line. And just like that, Marian, who had lots of momentum going, finds Johnson in the backfield, and they'll have to punt the ball back.
Boy, Caleb Johnson's having a good day. Tackle for loss, blocked punt earlier. He's having a good day.
That looked like a hungry lineman.
A lot of hustle, a lot of quickness.
So Brooks back deep as Bryce going to send this one end over end. It's going to take a St. Joe bounce, and Brooks just barely able to get out of the end zone.
It's going to be
and that
Balin.
could have been all kinds of disaster.
Owen Balin with the tackle, number 5 for St. Joe.
And that will put the Knights inside their own 5-yard line.
This is where the shotgun formation makes me nervous as a coach. You're backed up into your end zone and you're snapping the ball.
42 yards unofficially on the kick. Well, they're going to give him the 3. So forward progress was stopped there. So 40 yards on the punt. As Marr, safe play would be to run with it. And he's going to hand it off to Osmond on the misdirection.
Brad Osmond on the carry.
And
James Crenetti on the stop.
after James Crenetti coming up from that secondary position. 5-yard pickup for Osmond. And we're going to have a officials timeout.
That is Osmond's 9th rush for the night for a total of 30 yards.
Well, Crenetti, the outstanding defensive back. Grandfather was a member of the 66 Notre Dame National Championship team. His father, Mark, played high school soccer for South Bend St. Joe for 4 years. As the handoff to Osmond, he'll get to the 15, beyond the 20. It's another first down for the Marian Knights.
The Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
And Jaden, we saw Osmond just bump to the outside. And if you can't tackle him the first time, it's going to be very hard to eventually wrap him up and tackle him.
Tackle on the play by Cody Adu.
So Adu on the tackle. But it's a 13-yard pickup for Osmond. That's a man in motion. Hansen from the far side to the near side. Handoff going to go right to Osmond, right up the middle, and he is met by that defensive front. Osmond may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage.
Max Aronowski and Luke Short.
Aronowski and Short on the stop for the Huskies. Loss of 1.
Loss of 1.
And Jaden, they are still trying to get that running game cranked up. And it seems like Osmond's been the first, the second, and the third option for the Knights tonight.
They're trying to get that running game rolling, but this linebacker core is not having it.
Let's pass over the middle, and DeRoll just out of reach. DeRoll had a lot of green in front of him. He was beyond Jack Haig, the left corner. And if that pass is just thrown a little shorter, Marian is up by a touchdown.
He'd still be running.
Got some scores to give to us.
Northwood against Mishawaka. Mishawaka up 15-6 in that matchup. Plymouth is shutting out Goshen right now, 14-0. South Bend Riley beating Elkhart 2-0. Concord 7, Northridge 0. Fort Wayne Carroll 3-0 over Dwenger. 7-7, all squared away, Leo and New Haven. Columbia City and Huntington North. Columbia City up 7-0. Penn is up 30-0 against South Bend, Washington, with 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. And Lake Central up 14-0 over Twin Lakes after 1. And Winnemac up over Culver 22-8.
So the last play, Osmond had the ball slip through his hands. The offensive line able to recover. And Simonowski will punt it. It'll be down at the Marian 49-yard line. And that's where the Huskies will take over. 5:44 left in what has been an extremely speedy first half. And we'll flip the lineup card over yet again. It'll be the fourth possession for the St. Joe Huskies.
You know, both offenses are taking a different approach tonight. Marian is mainly trying to get the run going, and St. Joe, on the other hand, has been relying on the passing game.
So the Huskies, they're going to call it at the Marian 49. First time they're starting a drive inside Marian territory, and the pass for Downey, and he got hit. Ball and Sooth came at about the same time.
I think Sooth has finally figured out that they keep throwing the ball in his direction, and now he's going to attack.
I think Sooth was just a little bit high on the contact, and they're going to hit him with a penalty here.
And it'll be defensive pass interference. And it'll be a Husky first down. And you can hear the displeasure right outside as the door is open here to the press box on this beautiful September evening.
Yeah, I think that call could have gone either way. It was close.
So ball marched up to the 34-yard line.
Passing again.
As Lassane going to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to send one deep. He's got a man open, and it's in and out of the hands for Hurley. Hurley already with 3 touchdowns on the year, looking for number 4. And Hurley sees that one go in and out of his hands.
Lassane looked a little bit flustered on that one. Had Caleb Johnson coming right off the edge. Lassane just able to barely step up and get past Johnson, able to find an opening to launch that, and just missed his receiver. Just miscommunication there from the offense.
It'll be 2nd and 10, 5:34 remaining until halftime. Still scoreless here in the Holy War. Lassane, 2-step drop, going to find his man, and that's going to be Kimbrough. He'll be beyond the 30-yard line, down to about the 26. And it'll be an 8-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 2. Huskies yet to convert a 3rd down on this drive.
Will we see another run from the Huskies?
Gain of 8. It's 3rd down and 2 for the Huskies.
So Lassane, 2 wide receivers to the right. He's got Dallas Downey to the left. He's going to roll out to the right. Lots of protection, but we've got flags everywhere.
Flags before the play.
And it's going to be offsides on Marian. And it'll be a 1st down. So the second penalty on this drive that results in a 1st down.
Move the ball up 5 yards to the 26. Make that the 21.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Huskies. St. Joseph still not getting credit for a 3rd down conversion. They're 0 for 3 in the game.
We have a new running back in the game. Oh.
It'll be a timeout for Ben Downey and company to talk this one over. We're going to take it with him. 4:35 remaining until halftime. Scoreless here at Otulski Field. Between the Knights and the Huskies, we'll be back right after this on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
I answered the call. Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
Back here at Otulski Field out of the timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 for the visiting Huskies.
There is a new running back in for St. Joe. Number 20, Noah Bautsami in the backfield.
So Lassane in the shotgun formation. Quick firing it out. And it is in and out of the hands of Hurley on the far side.
Also, Quinn Roan had his hands on that ball, I think.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. And there was a lot of contact before that ball got to the sophomore. So spread formation, 2 receivers to each side. Lassane quickly dropped, now flushed out of the pocket. He's going to fire off his back foot to the end zone, and it is knocked away beautifully on that far side.
That's going to be Quinn Roan.
Quinn Roan with a nice play.
Roan had 2 pass breakups coming into the game, make it number 3. And Lassane, who was running for his life, fired it all the way down the field. And a good job from Roan, not just to break up the pass, but to avoid any kind of contact with Hurley. So that'll bring up 3rd down. Huskies 0 for 3 on 3rd downs. Lassane 3 to the right. He's going to fire quickly, and it's intercepted.
99 Johnson, there he goes!
Johnson to the 45-40.
Touchdown.
And he will score.
'79-yard interception return for a touchdown. Number 99, Caleb Johnson. He's having an awesome game with quarterback pressure, sacks, blocked kicks, tackles for loss. Now an interception return for a touchdown. Marian is up 6-0.
So the defense comes up big. Johnson with his first interception of the season. And he takes it to the house.
You love to see a big man trot all the way down the field. Got to be winded, 79 yards.
6'2", 223-pound Caleb Johnson.
He runs like a lightweight. Wow.
Gotta wonder if Coach Mike Davidson's going to put him in as a 3rd down back, as Primrose will get the extra point. Thimble to hold. The short-handed junior puts it down. Primrose going to kick it. And he's going to kick it east towards Elkhart County. And it's good. And just like that, 79 yards for Pater on a pick 6 by Caleb Johnson. Makes it 7-0. That touchdown brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with your life, health, Medicare needs. Call 570-360-0791. 570-360-0791. We're going to step aside and catch our breath after that 79-yard jaunt as you're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
In Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children. Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
7-zip in favor of the Marian Knights after that 79-yard interception return for a touchdown for Caleb Johnson. And just like last week, where defense played a massive part in that 41-2 win over the South Bend John Adams Eagles, defense comes up big again. And now Primrose with the ball on the tee at the 40 on the right hash mark. He'll let it fly. The high end over end kick is fumbled and quickly going to get dropped at about the 17-yard line.
The return is by number 20, Noah Balsami.
So Balsami on the return.
I'm wondering if St. Joe is going to come out on this series and try running the ball.
Well, quarterbacks have to have a very, very short memory. So it'll be interesting to see how Lassane reacts to that interception. As Lassane with his offense in front of him.
You notice that number 35, Ethan Foster, is now in the game for Caleb Johnson, letting him catch a little bit of a breather on the sidelines.
As the
Another
pass is going to be complete on that far side. As Nicholas Quiet, the first man to make the tackle. And Dallas Downey again. It's either been Hurley or Downey pretty much the entire first half. As Quiet was on the tackle, the 5'11", 184-pound senior linebacker. So 6-yard pickup on the pass from Lassane to Downey. It'll be 2nd and 4. Lassane, one clap. Pass is going to be here on the near side to Downey. Behind the line of scrimmage and brought down. As the first to get him was Quiet again.
Downey on the reception. Joseph Boone.
And Joseph Boone in there as well. And it'll be 3rd and 3. They're going to say that Downey got 1 yard on that play.
Two offensive plays in this series and 2 passes.
This has been the Achilles heel for St. Joseph. 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions in this ballgame so far. Lassane gets the snap, rolls out to the right. Pass complete on that far side. It'll be a 1st down.
Make that 1 for 4.
They had to get one eventually. And Langager gets the 1st down, gets a fresh set of downs, and with 2.5 minutes to go, remember Marian, or St. Joe rather, burned a timeout in the contest. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 34. Lassane quickly fires it over the far side, and it'll be Hurley with the catch.
Hurley on the reception.
As a group of Knights quickly descended upon him.
That's officials' timeout.
A player lost his bucket on the play. The clock will restart after that 6-yard pickup. So it'll be 2nd and 4 from the St. Joe 40. St. Joe going from right to left on your computer screen or mobile devices. We hit the 150 mark here in the first half. Shotgun snap to Lassane, quickly fires it, and it goes in and out of the hands of Hurley.
Pass to Hurley, incomplete.
And we've seen a number of them thrown right into the numbers of Hurley. And this one goes through them, and it'll be 3rd and 4. They've already converted 1 3rd down on this drive.
The last run that St. Joe had was to Franco Biffle for a 2-yard loss many plays ago. I'm just surprised to see so much passing. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just surprised.
So Lassane, 2 to the left. He's got Hurley up at the right. Shotgun formation. Going to pass it again, this time behind Hurley. And it's going to be a pass interference penalty.
Yeah, again, a questionable call, I think, by the officials.
And there are some Marian faithful that agree with that assessment. Flag lying there stationary at about the 44, and we'll call it 44 and 3/4.
Pass interference called against the Knights.
And that'll move the ball into Marian territory. It'll be spotted at the 45-yard line.
Is that a 15-yard penalty?
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
And that's the second pass interference penalty that Marion's been hit with in tonight's contest.
It's also a spot of the foul penalty, so it's 15 yards from the spot of the foul, so it moves them a little bit further.
Wow.
But St. Joe's really relying on that 3-yard slant, whether it's from near side or far side, whether they're looking at Hurley or Downey. That's been their go-to all day.
And Lassane pulls the handoff back. He's going for Hurley on the far side. It's
Picked
underthrown
off
and
by
picked
number
off.
4.
Quinn Roan with the interception.
Still
He'll
on his
cut
feet.
back to the 45.
Still on his feet.
And he's going to get to the 50.
Still on his feet.
Flag thrown.
Still on his feet. All the way down to the 41-yard line. Another flag. 2 flags.
So there are 3 flags.
All after the interception.
So the interception should stand.
Looks like the first penalty flag near side. Looks like they're going to get Cooper Sooth with a hold.
Ball currently marked at the 41.
A minute 17 left to go in the second quarter.
37 yards on the return from Rome.
Wow, 2 interceptions by the defense tonight. Lou Holtz said 3 things can happen when you throw the ball. The ball can be incomplete, intercepted, or caught by the receiver. So 2 out of 3 things can go wrong when you throw the ball.
So the officials are huddling between the 40 and the 45 of St. Joe. This is giving Coach Davidson a chance to rally his troops. Now he wants a bit of an explanation.
I think 2 of the penalties happened after the play was over. Perhaps.
So while we're still awaiting an explanation, tonight's game being sponsored by McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center, located at 1005 North Hickory Road in South Bend. For over 3 decades, McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center has been helping Michiana get stronger every day. Phone number 574-233-5754. Website www.mcdonaldpt.com.
Foul against St. Joe.
So like personal foul against St. Joe.
Where will the ball end up? Right now it's sitting on the 41. We have a penalty against Marian. We have a penalty against St. Joe. One happened during the play. Another happened after the play was over.
This is one of those situations, Jaden, where you wish you were a fly on the wall in that conversation with these officials just to know what they're thinking.
Yeah. I could see the foul from Marian was over here. It was a hold from Cooper Sooth, but I couldn't really see what happened after the play from the St. Joe's side, because it happened at about the midfield mark.
Well, Mike Davidson is at the level of the near side numbers. Ben Downey has pretty much been situated on the sideline. So here's the call. First call is going to be a holding on Marian. It's going to be declined. Personal foul on Marian. And then a dead ball personal foul on Marian.
Is that 30 yards back? 15 and
Whoa.
15?
Looks like there's going to be 2 personal foul penalties against Marian, 1 on St. Joe's. Looks like one of those 2 penalties will offset, and it looks like it's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
So the ball was spotted at the 45. Now the ball is going to be spotted at the 38 of Marian. And then they're going to march 15 more.
Wow.
15-yard penalty. Will mark off the second
Wow.
15-yard penalty.
So the ball will be placed at the 20, what looks to be the 23-yard line.
Okay, I'm going to need a calculator to figure out how many yards they lost here, and I'm a math teacher.
32-yard loss. How about that?
How many?
32.
32 yards.
It was spotted at the 45.
Wow.
And it goes all the way back to the 23.
Is it first down and 10, though?
And it is first down and 10.
First down and 10.
With 77 seconds.
Ref's got to go pick up his flag.
Yeah. I think if he didn't do that, I think you'd have anarchy in the stands.
Well, Marian has mostly been running the ball tonight. I wonder if they're going to air it out here with a minute 17. Or will they be content to run the ball and perhaps let the time expire? They are far away from the end zone.
Well, Coach Davidson with a word or two for the officials. And now we're back to playing football. Minute 17 to go. Knights lead at 7-0. Marr, shotgun with Osmond glued to his left hip. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to fire it off the back heel. Pass is complete to Brooks. And Brooks will get out of bounds. So the first play after all those penalties.
Getting out of bounds stops the clock.
It'll be a 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4 from the 29.
Earlier in the game, they had some success throwing the ball to number 17, Jack DeRoll. Let's see if they go back to that play again.
Marr rather, rolls out of the pocket, being flushed out.
There's
Pass
DeRoll.
is complete to DeRoll.
There he
Shot
goes.
the tackle.
There he goes.
To the 40.
There he goes.
25-30, 25,
Oh.
and brought down at about the 17.
How many yards? How many yards?
54 yards on the pitch and catch.
Looks like they're going to mark him down at the 18.
They're going to give him 53 on the pitch and catch. And Coach Davidson quickly uses timeout. 58.5 to go here in the first half. And that first down brought to you by J-Mill Packaging.
J-Mill Packaging is celebrating 50 years in business as the area's premier box manufacturing company. The DeRoll family is committed to leading J-Mill Packaging as a world-class organization through innovative corrugated solutions and helping people win. At J-Mill Packaging, everybody matters. Let's go, Knight Nation.
Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Fish and Chips Fridays. Enjoy 4 fried cod fillets with fries and coleslaw for just $10.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road, Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. For more information, the website is www.beefobradys.com or call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports.
So after the 53-yard pickup, Knights have it 1st and 10 at the 18. As a quick pass back to DeRoll. Inside the 15, down to about the 12. And the time continuing to tick down. So a 6-yard pickup.
If you're Coach Davidson, you're up by 7. You're within comfortable field goal range for Primrose. I think you slow it down, you make the right reads, and if it's open, it's open. If not,
There's
then let the
Marr
touchdown.
Gets the pass to Terrence Lane, who gets into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Knights are an extra point away from making it 13-0. Terrence Lane, 4th reception of the year, his first score. And after all those penalties, after the interception, the Knights find the way to get back in the end zone. Lucas Primrose now on to add the extra point.
Marian has been able to turn 2 turnovers into 14 points. Let's see.
Snap to Fimble. Down. Kick is up. And it is through the goalpost.
Wow.
And it is 14-0. That touchdown brought to you by Troy Gill with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Call Troy with all your life, health, and Medicare needs. 574-360-0791. 574-360-0791. 26 seconds even remaining in the first half. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
77 yards, 4 plays, and Marr, an 11-yard touchdown strike to Terrence Lane. And with 26 seconds to go here in the first half, the Knights with a massive touchdown now lead at 14-0.
We have seen Primrose kick it into the end zone earlier this season. He's capable of getting a touchback.
Let's see what Coach Mike Davidson has up his sleeve as Primrose going to kick it end over end. And catch is going to be made at about the 11. And breaking upfield, making a couple man miss was Ryan Roskowski, the nimble 5'7", 150-pound junior.
I think that's a smart move from Davidson. Put it in play, make them waste a little bit of clock, and put that faith in your kickoff team to be able to get down there and make the stop.
Wow. Ryan's dad, Adam, a quarterback at St. Joe back in the day. Apparently, I knew a lot of these guys that I went to school with. I knew of them by name only, did not have a chance to meet a whole lot of these guys. And Lassane is going to get into the genuflect formation. How apropos on the Holy War game, and he'll take a knee, and that'll do it for the first half. And that'll do it.
The story of the first half, 2 interceptions by Marian. They were able to turn those interceptions into 14 points.
So at the end of the first half here at Otalski Field, 14-0 in favor of Marian. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll have first half stats. We'll get you ready for the second half of play here at Holy War 24 on Otalski Field. It's the Marian Knights 14 and the St. Joseph Huskies nothing. As you're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. But there is another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by purpose, defined by the cause you fight for. No one can take away what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines. Learn more at marines.com.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
My daughter's Aspen. She has stage 4 neuroblastoma. St. Jude is like, it saved us. The financial help given here goes a long way. The research helps, not just here, it reaches the whole world. And St. Jude is a gift. I just want to say thank you.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Fish and Chips Fridays. Enjoy 4 fried cod fillets with fries and coleslaw for just $10.99. Located at State Road 23 and Bittersweet Road. Beef's is open for lunch at 11 a.m. 7 days a week. More information found online at www.beefobradys.com or call 574-271-1415. Beef O'Brady's, good food, good sports.
Tonight's game is also being sponsored by McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center, located at 1005 North Hickory Road in South Bend. For over 3 decades, McDonald Physical Therapy and Sports Rehabilitation Center has been helping Michiana get stronger every day. Phone number 574-233-5754 and their website, www.mcdonaldpt.com. At the half here at Otalski Field, and we knew it was going to be a struggle to put points on the board as the Huskies lead the Marian Knights, or the Knights lead the Huskies 14-0 at the half. The scoring a 79-yard interception return for a touchdown by Caleb Johnson, and a 4-play 77-yard drive late in the second quarter culminated in an 11-yard touchdown pass from Lucas Marr to Terrence Lane for an 11-yard touchdown. And Jaden Yost, I'll tell you what, Lucas Marr has been very, very accurate today on his throws. He's been able to lead his receivers and allow them to make the plays once they get the ball in their hands.
I think this is starting with the big boys up front. I mean, you have a lot of upperclassmen leadership, 4 juniors and a senior on this line. They're really giving Marr that time. He's staying calm, cool, collected in the pocket, making his reads and making the right throw.
Yeah, that linebacking core that we made so much of in the pregame, Max Aronowski, Kobe Addo, Owen Balint, and Luke Short have pretty much stuffed the running game for the time being, and they've forced Marr to go out of the pocket and use his arms and legs to get Marian on the board. The Huskies, 96 yards of total offense. The Marian Knights, only 131. But the big number, 2, and that's 2 turnovers in this contest by the St. Joe Huskies. The Marian Knights have had the ball for 13 minutes and change. St. Joe has had it for just over 10 minutes. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have stats from the first half as we're at halftime here in Holy War 2024, 64th meeting between the Mishawaka Marian Knights and the St. Joe Huskies. After this word from Liuna, as you're watching Mishawaka Marian Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Yeah.
Got some scores from around the areas. We're back here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
We got 21-21 Lake Central and Twin Lakes at the half. 22-8 Winnemac over Culver at the half. Valpo versus Michigan City, 7-0 in the first quarter. And we got 44-0 Penn over Washington.
And we've got some first half stats, Coach. It's been a grind out there to get any kind of yards and any kind of opening. And
so the Marian Knights, their number 2, Deuce Owens. I'm sorry, Brian Osman. He has rushed the ball 12 times for 42 yards. The quarterback, Marr, he has thrown the ball 11 times for 8 receptions for a total of 100 yards. And then the receivers, number 3, Braxton Brooks. He has 3 receptions for 20. Number 7, Aiden Hansen has 1 reception for 10. Number 17, Jack DeRoll, he has 2 receptions for 59 yards. And number 11, 1 reception, 12 yards, and that is Terrence Lane. And he scored a touchdown just before halftime. The St. Joe Indians, according to my stats, they have rushed for only 4 yards in the first half. And they have passed for a total of 69 yards. So that is a total of 73 yards of offense for the St. Joe Huskies in the first half. Their quarterback, number 15, A.J. Lassane, is 12 for 21 for 69 yards.
the 1999 Marian Knights being honored here before or at halftime here of the Holy War, as this squad won the first regional title since 1976 after winning every game during the regular season. Just a reminder, our coverage of Marian High School sports on the Regional Radio Sports Network is presented by our friends at Harris & Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harris & Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, interior home remodeling. In addition, Harris & Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior and exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harris & Sons Construction, phone number is 574-514-2104. We're going to step aside. When we come back after this ad from Liuna, we'll have more scores from around the state on this busy Friday the 13th. And we'll also talk about one of the events that took place this week 23 years ago, as you're watching Knights football right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network. As members of the 99 Marian Knights team gather at the 30-yard line. 14-0 our score at halftime, as both teams getting ready to come back on the field. And this week, even though we celebrate Holy War and all of the athletic achievements of both Marian and South Bend St. Joe, we do take time to look back on a history-changing event, at least a world history-changing event, as 23 years ago this week, September 11th, 2001, tragedy struck as both the north and south towers of the World Trade Center were struck by cowards in planes, using them as almost bombs in a way to try to detonate the heart of society that we live in here in the United States, as over 2,700 people tragically lost their lives in the World Trade Center incident back in 2001. And all week we have remembered those that we have lost, our friends and our family that we have lost and that are still living in that area. And Coach, you and I, we're old enough to remember what happened during those events. I was a junior in college. I had just come back from a 7 o'clock class in the morning. I looked down. I saw the TV news coverage that they were showing, and I honestly could not believe my eyes what was going on. And before you knew it, it was actually really happening. I still, to this day, cannot believe it. But it did happen, and it is a tragedy that will change the course of world history. And the girl that I was seeing at the time, she was over in Canada, and she would not know till almost 8 o'clock that night whether or not she was going to be able to cross the border. I had a number of Canadian hockey players, both male and female, who did not know if they were going to be able to get back over the border. And our apartment became almost like a safe haven. And there was just so much chaos that was going on. It didn't seem real. And it still doesn't seem real. And
I was in my 4th year of teaching. I teach mathematics at the junior high level. I was in my 4th year of teaching on that day, administering the I-STEP test. And we were asked to keep our TVs off that day so that the students wouldn't be notified of what was happening on the East Coast. And we were instructed to keep our televisions off. And we didn't have cell phones then. So I really didn't know what was happening until I left school that day. I turned on the radio driving home, and I heard the coverage. And it was just very sad. And I remember driving home, and I only lived a short distance from school, but I drove past a gas station, and the line of cars waiting to get gasoline at the station was 30, 40 cars long, and the price of gas at that day was $5 a gallon, I remember. But then I went home that evening, spent time with my family. My son was a newborn then. Spent time with my family, watching the images on the news, hoping that a worse situation could get better somehow. And it was just a really sad day in time. Not just that day, but the days, weeks, and months, and even years that followed.
Jaden Yost was not alive when that happened, but I'm sure your parents and family members have told you about that day. What did they talk to you about in regards to the events that unfolded on September 11th?
Well, my brother was born earlier that year, so my brother was a newborn, so their prime focus was making sure that he was safe at home and not worrying about it. And my dad had a private practice, a private law firm at that point in time, and I guess it was just a kind of a keep the family bonded moment, and let's make sure our families don't get involved in this and that we're safe. And I think it was just a point of unity for everybody, not just families, but the country as a whole. And I think that's one of the biggest impacts on our country.
And we will certainly not forget the events that took place that day, as the country has continued to rebuild and heal itself since those events. And again, 23 years ago this week, tragedy struck the United States. Both teams on the field here on the Friday of Holy Week between the St. Joe Huskies and the Marian Knights. We're going to step aside for one last timeout. We come back, we'll have third quarter action right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Countery of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Back here at Otulski Field on the Regional Radio Sports Network, J.P. Gilbert along with Mike Rock, Jaden Yost. Liz Hoosier's upstairs trying to fight the environment up there. We're so glad that she could give you all the pictures and descriptions of tonight's game on a beautiful Friday night here in Mishawaka, Indiana. The Knights 24 minutes away from taking Holy War 2024 as the Knights will kick it away. Hurley and Ruskowski back at about their own 10-yard line as Lucas Primrose has the ball teed up. And he is going to send it deep. Ruskowski will pick it up at about the 14. He's to the 20, to the 25, still on his feet, and will finally be brought down by a group of Knights at about the 26-yard line.
Marian has been in this position coming out of halftime before. The first game of the season, they were winning 17-7 versus Mishawaka. And also when they played Culver 2 weeks ago, they were winning at halftime as well. Let's see if they can hold on to the lead here as the game progresses.
So, 1st and 10 for the Huskies. They'll have the ball at the 26-yard line.
Interesting. Quarterback is under center.
No, Zane gonna hand it off.
Oh.
And Longagger is quickly brought down. He thought he had not been tackled. But again, guess who? Caleb Johnson. He of the 79-yard interception return earlier gets in there on the tackle.
Right now, he's player of the game.
I don't think it's even close.
He made that. He's lining up on the right side of the defense, and he was able to make that tackle on the left side of the field. He's hustling.
So 2nd and 13 after that 3-yard loss. And movement and flags flying everywhere. And it'll be offside against the Knights. Second time they've been called for offside here in the game.
Now, defense, you just have to watch the ball. When the ball moves, then you can attack the offense. But wait until then. Don't listen to the quarterback. Watch the ball.
St. Joe leading the all-time series 36-21. Marian won last year's Holy War 16-10. St. Joe won 8 in a row from 83 to 90. Marian won the first 5 meetings of this series. It's the longest win streak for the Knights.
Again, Lassane is under center.
Lassane
Pitch to
will
the
pitch
left.
it.
Cut back.
And he will be brought down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup.
That's one of my favorite players for the Knights, number 51, Seth Kerzeder, with the tackle.
And he got a nice round of applause after his name was announced. And it'll bring up 3rd and 13. It's actually going to bring up 3rd and 5. The yards to go had not moved in time, but 3rd and 5 for St. Joe. 1 of 6 for third
Play
down.
action.
Lassane flushed out of the pocket. He's going to let it fly, and
oh boy, surrounded by
the
four
only one
Knights.
the only one in the vicinity was Kazmarek, but he was 5 yards behind the play. But there is a flag on the play.
Lasane's pass falls incomplete. We have a flag on the play.
And we'll see what this one's all about.
I don't know, maybe offensive lineman down the field. Quarterback was held onto the ball for a long time and was scrambling. Maybe the offensive line thought he was going to try to run it. Let's see.
So, no flag on the play.
Okay. 4th down and 5.
So as the Marian fans will probably tell you, it's probably the best call they've made all night. So 3 and out for the Huskies. And back to return is going to be Brooks. And he's standing at about 23, 22-yard line as the punt from Bryce is going to take a St. Joe bounce. And Brooks this time wisely going to let it go. And it'll be Marian ball, 1st and 10 from about the 26-yard line.
I think we're going to see a lot of running the ball from Marian here in the second half. Try to use up as much of the clock as possible. Keep the ball away from St. Joe.
So Marian's last possession, they went 77 yards in under a minute. They're going to back it up to the 25. And that's where Lucas Marr and company will take over.
Boy, that Prescott Horvath is a big dude. He's 6'8", 297 pounds. Left tackle for the Knights.
We'll have some scores from around the area.
Surprisingly, they come out and pass.
And the pass complete on that far side. It'll be complete to Braxton Brooks.
Brought down by Kobe Ado.
2nd down and 3.
7-yard pickup for Brooks. We'll have some scores for you as soon as this play is over. So now Lassane in the shotgun, man in motion, is going to fake the handoff to the first man, give it to Osmond up the middle. He'll be close.
Brian Osmond on the carry.
And it'll be 3rd and short, as we'll start to give you some scores from around the area.
Hanover Central up 21-7 against Lowell. Valpo up 7-6 over Michigan City. Lake Central all squared away with Twin Lakes 21-all. Hobart 7-0 over Kankakee Valley, and North Judson 20-0 over North Miami.
So 3rd and 2 as the pass goes through the hands of Brooks. It'll be incomplete.
I was totally fooled on that play. I thought Osman was going to run right up the middle with it.
And the Knights go 3 and out. And that'll bring on the punting unit for the Marian Knights, as Simonowski will be on to punt. Downey standing at about his 36-yard line as the junior begins to creep up just a little. High snap. Simonowski brings it down, and it will take a St. Joe bounce. And they are going to say it will be downed at about the 36.5-yard line. And that's where
I think the ball should be up the field.
I would agree.
Yards.
It did hit a Marian player upfield.
Yeah, it hit Luke Short. Luke Short batted the ball back.
Well, we've seen just a little bit of everything today. We've seen 3 penalties on one play. We've seen batted balls not going the right direction. And in any event,
hey, we saw a defensive lineman intercept the ball and return it 70-plus yards for a touchdown.
So St. Joe will have their second possession of the half. It'll be 1st and 10 at about the 38-yard line. Lassane in the shotgun formation. He's going to hand it off to the up back and getting a couple of yards on that play.
It's going to be Langager on the carry.
Yep.
Brady Langaker on the run, brought down by Caleb Johnson.
So a couple yard pickup, and again, Caleb Johnson in on that tackle for the Marian Knights. So that'll bring up 2nd 8 from the 40. Now Lassane, quick drop. And the
almost intercepted by
is
number 22, Lucas Primrose.
Primrose gets his hand in the way. And that'll bring up yet another 3rd down for the Huskies. Huskies 1 for 7 so far on 3rd down. The ball at the 40-yard line. 7.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Marian has scored on both offense and defense in this contest. And right now the offense being asked to step up yet again. As the high snap, Lassane
intercepted,
throw it, and,
number 26.
And going is Sooth. Sooth at the 40, to the 45, the 50. There's a flag on the play, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds. But again, a flag thrown way back at the Marian 45, and another one after the play.
That's the 3rd interception of the night. Each interception returned for a healthy gain of yardage. St. Joe needs to remember, those offensive players on the field need to change from offensive to defensive when the ball is being returned.
So the official's going to make the call. It's going to be...
Oh, this time it's against St. Joe. No.
Yep, it's a push in the back from the Knights after the interception and a personal foul. So it will be...
Are there 2 flags on the
There
play?
were 2 flags on the play. The first flag was for the push in the back on Marian on the return. And the second was a personal foul at the end of the run.
I think that second foul is against St. Joe.
As the officials once again...
They're going to march the ball back 15 and then march it forward
So
15.
block in the back on Marian. And then a dead ball personal foul after the play was over. It'll be 1st down for Mishawaka Marian.
By the way, Otulski Field is packed with people. There's every seat in the bleachers filled with fans. Also, we have standing room only crowd along the fence
So
tonight.
it goes from A return to the past the 45. They throw the flag at the 45. Spotted the foul. 15-yard penalty against the Huskies. 10-yard penalty against the Knights. Moves the Knights up 5 yards.
All that, after all that conversation, it's 1st and 10 at the 50. So Lucas Marr at the 50. He's going to let it go. He's got a man open, and the question's going to be, did he stay in bounds? And he did not.
He had a foot down.
He did not, and Deuce Owens, who tried to keep the foot in bounds.
Well, the back judge made that call from the middle of the field.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from midfield. We'll have more scores after this next play. Again, 2nd and 10 as Marr comes to the line. Shotgun formation, 2 to the left. He's got a man in motion. And surprise, surprise, Laundry on the field, false start on Marian. We'll have some additional scores.
Penn up 44-0 against South Bend, Washington. Winnemac up 22-8 over Culver. Triton up 35-0 over South Central. Wheeler up 14-0 on Knoll. Brownsburg 10-7 up over Avon. Fishers up 27-7 against Hamilton Southeastern.
So the 5-yard penalty pushes the Knights back 5 yards. Empty backfield now for Marr. 3 to the left, 2 to the right, and a timeout will be taken by Coach Mike Davidson and the Marian Knights. 7:22 remaining in the third quarter. Knights lead it 14-0. We'll step aside, and we'll be back right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004.
As
the blitz that time by Marian.
Hand off to Osmond. Osmond to the 50, another flag. Surprise, surprise, Laundry can't stay in the pocket. As Crenity makes the tackle, and it'll be a hold on Marian. And the Knights continuing to go backwards. So after the holding penalty,
there's another. Oh.
The Knights will continue to go backwards.
I thought there was another flag on the play. It was just the official tossing one flag to another official. Oh, this is a new formation. We have a bunch of formation to the right.
So it'll be second till about Elkhart County. Second 18, formation. Trips to the right. Marr gets the pass to Brooks, caught in the open field. He's to the 45, to the 50, and he'll be brought down, led by Luke Short. Also in on that tackle, Max Aronowski for the Huskies. But it is a pickup of 10.
Gain that penalty yardage back. Makes it third and manageable.
The Knights, 2 of 7 on third down.
I think they're going to throw it to Jack DeRoll here.
And
Oh,
again, a timeout.
timeout, Marian. I could tell they were going to throw it to Jack DeRoll by the way he was lining up at the line of scrimmage. He had a little more intensity than sometimes he usually does.
Our coverage of Marian High School athletics on the Regional Radio Sports Network is presented by our friends at Harrison Sons Construction. For over a decade, Harrison Sons Construction have offered full-service remodeling and construction. Projects include kitchen, bathroom, and interior home remodeling. In addition, Harrison Sons Construction also offers roofing, siding, and interior-exterior painting. For more information on the services of Harrison Sons Construction, phone number 574-514-2104. JP Jobert, Mike Rock, Jaden Yost, Liz Hoosier's upstairs. Been an eventful night for all of us here in Mishawaka. Hope you are enjoying the 64th all-time meeting between these two schools. As the Knights lead it 14-0, 3rd and 8 from the 48 with 6:14 to go in the third quarter. Marr back to pass, fires it, and the only person that was legitimately close to catching that was Coach Mike Davidson. But the last time I checked, his eligibility had expired. And that will force Marian to punt. You know he wanted to catch that ball and run with it.
Yeah.
So Downey back to receive this kick.
Simonowski to punt. Oh, boy.
And a high snap, and Downey wisely going to let this one go, and it's going towards the 8-yard line. It will be downed by Marian inside the 10-yard line.
Wow, talk about a game of inches there. St. Joe nearly blocked that punt.
So Lassane and company will take over. After the 39-yard punt by Simonowski. No return.
5:59 to go in the third quarter. Marian still winning 14-0.
So Lassane in the shadow of his goal line in the shotgun formation. Sends a man in motion. He'll take a 3-step drop, fires it complete on the near side to Kazmierzek.
Saints pass complete to Kazmierzek.
And a Knight down in the backfield.
Lucas Primrose on the tackle.
And that looks like Eric Logan making his way to the sideline, motioning for the athletic training staff here at Marian High School.
Caleb Johnson is also receiving some attention on the sideline.
And those are two guys that they can ill afford to lose at this stage of the season.
Looks like those two guys are going to be replaced by Seth Kerzeder and Ethan Foster, number 51 and number 35.
Well, Lassane on the play action, going deep. He's got a man deep. There's lots of contact.
Wow.
And the flag stays in the pockets. Roan was all over Brayson Hurley.
He almost had an electrifying one-handed catch there. He had it for just a second, and then it fell out.
That would have been Sports Center worthy. Instead, we go back to the 12-yard line. Now it's 3rd and 7 for a Huskies team that's just 1 of 8 on 3rd down.
Ball brought back to the 12-yard line. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Huskies.
And whistles aplenty. It's going to be a timeout for St. Joe, and we will take it with them. 5:23 to go in the third quarter. Knights lead at 14-0. Indians have the ball 3rd and 7 at their own 12-yard line. You're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 12-yard line as Lassane back in the shotgun formation. Lots of movement from the defensive front of Marian. Lassane, 3-step drop, going to fire it here near side, and it's over the head of Dallas Downey. And incomplete, and again, 3 and out for the Huskies.
Yes, according to my statistics, they have thrown the ball about 30 times tonight and have completed 13 passes for about 75 yards.
That is the 3rd straight 3 and out to start the second half. And now Price inside his end zone, and a high snap brought down. And Brooks going to let this one roll down at about the 32-yard line. We saw a football at about the 47. It was actually on the other side of the sidelines. But the short kick, it's going to be 20 yards of a net on the punt. And Marian with great field position. As a matter of fact, it's the best field position of the night. No pun intended. 3rd time they've started. Hey, I got to get the puns in when I can. 3rd time they've started in St. Joe territory. They're at the 32. And lots of time left in this one as we had a very fast first half. This one has slowed down a little. Marr flushed out of the pocket to the right. He's going to try to get rid of it and throws it right into the area of about a half dozen cameramen and women.
You know, Marian ran the ball in the first half. Now they've come out in the second half, and they have passed.
The first 3 possessions for the Huskies, 3 out, 3 out, 3 out. Marian, 3 out, 3 out.
Hey.
And we're on 2nd down in possession number 3.
Let's run the ball and pick up a first down.
So here's Marr again in shotgun formation. He's going to send a man in motion. Again, movement up front. And again, we're going to see Laundry on the field, and it's going to be offsides. We knew that movement up front against the Huskies was going to bite him eventually, and on this play it finally did, Jaden.
Yeah, I think if it was just a normal offside penalty, I think they would let it play on because it's not a dead ball foul. It's just a free play for the offense. But I think they had a defender lining up in the neutral zone, which is a big no-no. So they're going to march that forward 5 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 5.
Anytime you can get free yards, you might as well take them. And again, 2nd and 5, as Jaden made mention. Shotgun formation. Marr, 2-step drop, going to throw it over the top and well over the head. An uncatchable ball.
Deuce Owens was the intended receiver.
Now, Owens is a big kid. He's 6'1", but I think he needed to be like 6'7", 6'8" to try to catch that one.
I think he needed to be Prescott Horvath's height,
Oh.
6'8", all the way down there.
The junior left tackle, a big reason why Lucas Marr has not been sacked tonight. Again, 3rd and 5. Here's the snap. Osmond hit at the line. He's going to keep the legs moving towards the first down marker. But the officials are going to make the final judgment call on this one. And Coach Mike Davidson not even making any movement to the field goal unit, keeping the offense out.
Oh, boy, look at that.
And an interesting formation here. And they're going to run it right up the middle, but it does not look that like Marr is going to get it.
Looks like the tush push didn't work there.
Yeah, it only works for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, this time, instead of 3 and out, they go 4 and out. So the drive stalls. Otto on the tackle for the Huskies. And now
the first half was quick. This quarter feels like it's lasting forever with all the incomplete passes, stopping the clock.
So the Huskies will take over. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 23. Lassane gonna hand off, and
number 50.
And there is Logan. We have called his name a couple times tonight. Eric Logan, 5 tackles for loss coming into tonight's game. He'll add to that total. And it'll be a loss of 3, pushing the ball back to the 20.
Boy, Marion's defensive line tonight's really been impressive.
St. Joseph has run 10 plays here in the second half for a grand total of 7 yards.
They only had 69 yards total in the first half.
Now Lassane back to pass. Pass is going to be complete on that far side. So James Crenity, the tight end, with the reception. And it's still going to be 3rd and 6.
That's Crenity's first reception of tonight.
1 for 9 on 3rd down are the Huskies. And lots of movement again. And we may see offsides here on the Knights. And if so, that'll make it 3rd and 1. And
offsides against the Knights.
So that will move the ball forward. Instead of 3rd and 6, and it's now 3rd and 1.
I wonder what St. Joe is doing to cause all of these offsides calls. Is it quarterback count? Is it flinching? I don't know how many times.
Well, there was a lot of movement in the box for the Knights. In any event, it is 3rd and 1. Again, Huskies 1 of 9 on 3rd down. Lassane under center. He's going to take the snap and try to run for it himself. He's going to get the first down and a couple of extra yards to go with it.
So St. Joe's version of the tush push.
And that will be the first 3rd down conversion for the Huskies since late in the first half. So as the clock continues to tick, 2:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Almost said contest. Now Lassane going to get flushed out. He's going to get wrapped up, and Joe Boone wraps him up. Lassane had nowhere to go.
How many yards did he lose there? 10? 12?
So that'll back up.
Looks like they're going to mark it back 10 yards.
9-yard loss on the sack. As Boone gets his first quarterback sack of the season. 5'10", 216-pound senior. Just busted through the line. Now Lassane is going to dump it off. And the give is to Longagger. It's positive yardage at least after that last sack.
I think it's smart when you have the defensive flooding to the quarterback. Next play should be a screen pass. Let him come through and get your lineman up to that second level and make a play.
So it'll be a pickup of 7. And now 3rd and 12. They've already converted 1 third down on this drive, but that was 3rd and 1 after the penalty. This is 3rd and a bit longer.
3rd and 12.
Here's a shotgun snap to Lassane. Pitch out of the backfield and lots of open real estate, but quickly Lucas Primrose on the tackle as Longagger with the 8-yard pickup.
Once again, letting those front linemen, linebackers through. Get your linemen up to the secondary in that second level and throw the check down. And once again, it works in their favor.
It's 4th down and 4.
Well, this will be interesting because it's about a 0.2 of a difference between the game clock and the play clock. And Lassane is going to get the play off, and he throws it short. And Kimbrough is stopped well short of the first down marker.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yep. Marian leads at 14-0 here in the 2024 Holy War edition of Marian and St. Joe, the 64th meeting all time between the two schools. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the 4th corner for you right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know there's a place right here in Michiana that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Michiana provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
3, 2, 1.
back here at Mishawaka Marian High School as Clay Kimbrough is being, correction. It is a St. Joe, it is Clay Kimbrough of the St. Joe Huskies as the Marian team is kneeling in front of the 6 foot, 167-pound senior as he is being attended to. And Eric Logan, one of the defensive linemen, giving Kimbrough a pat on the shoulder as he is being carted off.
Another reason why this rivalry is special is that kids from both teams do know each other from going to the same elementary, junior high, or maybe through intramural sports. So it's nice to see good sportsmanship and to see them supporting each other.
As Kimbrough is now being attended to on the St. Joe side. And
you're just hoping it's nothing serious for
yeah,
a kid in his senior season. You hate for that to be his last play.
We hope that whatever is...
We hope it's a speedy recovery.
Yes, very much so. As the two teams are going to get back to resuming play here. It will be Marian football. It'll be 1st and 10 at the St. Joe 42 after the turnover on downs. It's now Marr in the shotgun. He'll give the pitch to Osmond, kind of late on the pitch.
Nice.
Cuts to the middle, and he's inside the 30, down to about the 26. And Osmond finally is able to break one.
He was looking for the outside edge, but found a cutback lane between the center and the guard, cutting straight up the middle, able to get to that second level, but just not able to kick it into another gear.
And after that 16-yard pickup, that first down brought to you by our friends at the J-Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
The Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J-Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
As the snap goes right through the hands of Marr, and a bit of a late hit as Marr is struggling to get up after that, and the flag is on the play, and it will be a personal foul.
We're going to get some Fimble action.
And Mitchell Fimble is going to come on after Marr took that shot after the play was over, as Marr heads to the sidelines. Fimble, the 5'11", 168-pound junior, 6 of 10 through the air for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. He can also use his legs. He's 4 of 20. So Fimble has been a disruptor on the defensive side. Now he's going to get his chance as the quarterback. Fimble's got Osmond glued to his left hip. Here's the shotgun snap. Quick fire to DeRoll. And he's going to be knocked down as Darrell is going to pick up a couple. And it will be a third down situation.
You can see Marr running up and down the sidelines, and he's going to go check in with coach and tell him he's ready to go back in.
Well, it is second down after that penalty and the 5-yard pickup. There we go, 2nd and 5 from the 21. Fimble going to hand it off to Osmond. He's going to break 2 tackles and finally be brought down close to the first down marker. Once again, a little bit of extracurricular activity. So Balint on the tackle.
You know, Marian is in an excellent position as a team to have 2 quarterbacks that can run this offense.
We saw Fimble in the Mishawaka game. He was very, very efficient in the time that he was on the field. It'll be an official's timeout. Usually in a play like that, you would be measuring, but in this case, just to get everyone squared away, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Knights at the 20. Mitch in the shotgun is going to give it out here on the near side to Brooks, and
Nice
he
play
is
by
met
St. Joe.
immediately
Roskowski.
as Roskowski, Balin, Short, the whole throng of Huskies. The pack of Huskies just descended upon Brooks. And now it's decision time for Mike Davidson. He's got Primrose, who has made a kick from this range earlier this year, but instead he's going to keep Fimble on the field. Fimble, shotgun snap, 3-step drop, fires it deep. He's got a man in the end zone.
Touchdown!
And it's caught for a touchdown.
Deuce Owens.
Deuce Owens wins the one-on-one battle, comes down with the football, and the Knights have extended their lead to 3 touchdowns.
For a backup like Mitch Fimble to come in the game, stay calm, cool, and collected, take a step up into the pocket, making his progressions and making the right read on that play, finds Deuce Owens in the back corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
No, we saw Fimble do the same thing against Mishawaka 2 weeks ago.
So Primrose on to attempt the extra point. Fimble, the quarterback, to hold it. Snap high, will be brought down, and it's going to be no good. In any event, it is still 20-0.
Well, the snap disrupted the timing of the kick, and the kick just didn't go through the uprights.
So a 6-play, 42-yard drive, 2 minutes and 51 seconds, as Mitch Fimble goes 20 yards to Deuce Owens, who picks up his 3rd touchdown of the night. The extra point, no good. And in any event, the Marian Knights have a 20-0 lead here at the Holy War as the scores continue to pour in from all over the area.
We have Penn officially winning over South Bend, Washington, 44-6 final score. Hanover Central 35-14. Valpo 17-6. Lake Central 42-21 over Twin Lakes. Hobart 20-10 over Kankakee Valley. And Winnemac 22-8 over Culver.
So the Knights with a 20-0 lead, as Lucas Primrose has been a very busy man tonight. And he will get ready to send this one back to the Huskies. And that ball will go out of bounds, and it'll be yet another penalty.
Kick out of bounds is a penalty. St. Joe will start at their own 35.
So St. Joe at the 35. They've yet to have a play in Marian territory in the second half. They got as far as the 42 on their last drive. But the Mishawaka defense has shut them down. By the way, that touchdown pass, that's the first points allowed in the second half by St. Joe all year. They had outscored opponents 27-0 coming in. Now Lassane going to fake the handoff.
There's
He's
our
going to get
number
flushed out of the
99,
pocket.
Johnson with a fumble.
And a fumble is pounced on by the offensive line. There's a man down.
It may be Caleb Johnson.
And there's a man down for each team.
No,
It's Logan. It's Eric Logan
It's Eric Logan.
for Marian.
Boy, Caleb Johnson is a disruptor.
Johnson's going to get credit for the forced fumble.
You got 2 players down on this play.
Yep. And while both of them are being tended to, we are going to step aside as you're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
And the injured St. Joe Husky was A.J. Lassane, and Sam Shikatano, the sophomore, coming in after the loss of 17. And Loninger goes right up the middle with the run. And he may get 5, maybe 6, but in any event, it's going to be third in an eternity.
3rd and 22.
Third and probably to Jimtown High School. It's about the same as an eternity.
3rd down and 22 for the Huskies.
As the Huskies have only converted 2 third downs today, and once again it's another handoff, and the blue wave of defensive line. I mean, you can pick your poison as far as who got to Laniger first. And again, 3 and out.
Here comes Braxton Brooks to return the kick.
And if I'm Mike Davidson, I think I might think about not having anybody back there. In any event, Brooks is now walking back to about his 40-yard line, now 39, 38. And just a reminder, after this, we'll have our player of the game. And Marion's got a couple.
They certainly do.
As the officials going to have a little powwow. We'll let you know on schedule for other events on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Tomorrow, Paul Condry will have Indiana Wesleyan University and Bethel volleyball at 1 p.m. Tanner Camp and I will be at Bethel for Lindsey Wilson and Bethel. Jaden, you'll be at Holy Cross tomorrow afternoon as the Saints will be playing. Next Wednesday, Grace will be playing Bethel in volleyball. Penn and Marian will be playing in soccer. We'll have that coverage for you. Next Friday, St. Xavier and Bethel in volleyball is another full slate of Friday night games. Chesterton at Valpo. Mishawaka Marian. The Knights travel to Everwise Freed Field to take on Penn. Hanover Central at Kankakee Valley. And Lowell takes on Hobart. So there was an official's timeout. The clock will run. There are now only 4 officials on the field as the punt by Price is going to take a St. Joe bounce. It will be downed at the 44-yard line, and that's exactly where Marian will take over. It'll be interesting to see who will be under center, if it will be Mar or if it'll be Fimble, and Mar's in the huddle. And so is Fimble, so we've seen this before where both quarterbacks are in the huddle.
It appears as though Fimble's just listening in.
Which is a surprise because he barely listens on the ice. Sorry, Mitch. Could not resist on that one.
Looks like Mar is going to replace Fimble in this game.
You know, Preston Shue, number 65 for the Knights, is starting his first game at center. And from what I can recall, every snap has been perfect.
So the Knights take over on their own 44. Their 10th possession of the contest. So Mar going to pitch it to Osmond. We've seen that it's a dangerous pitch that far away and that far in the backfield. Osmond's going to pick up a couple. And the pint-sized powerhouse gets over the 45-yard line. He'll be at about the 46. And the clock continuing to be the enemy of South Bend St. Joseph. Knights leading it by 20. Mar once again with Osmond. Attached to the hips, going to send Hansen in motion from the near side. Handoff this time, and surprise, surprise, surprise.
Delay of game?
Delay of game. As the Knights, I think if you would have told Mike Davidson, you have 11 penalties committed, but you're up 3 touchdowns, I think you would take it.
That sounds like
because that's exactly what's happened tonight. So that carry by Osmond negated by the delay of game penalty. And it's 2nd and 13 from the 41. Clock continuing to tick. As Mar in the shotgun formation. Going to hand it off to Osmond. And he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. And the St. Joe defense trying to do their part to get the offense back on the field.
Sean Kersey on that wrap-up, just on the ground, holding onto his foot for dear life, not letting him go anywhere, waiting on a little bit of backup, and that linebacker core is able to finally clean up that tackle.
So a loss of a couple there. It'll be 3rd and 14. Marian has been unsuccessful on its last 7 third-down conversions. Now Mar rolling out to the left.
Brooks.
And he's going to find a man complete. He'll be just short of the first down is DeRoll. They're going to have him down at the 50.
Mar was able to make that pass. Wow.
And Coach Mike Davidson is content with leaving the offense on the field. And this is probably going to be the ball game here if Marian should get this first down.
Balin like a runaway train on that last play.
As the handoff goes to Osmond, and it does not look from our angle whether he's going to get that. And again, Owen Balin on the stop, just a little beyond midfield. And the Knights will turn the ball over. So 5:51 remaining in the contest. St. Joe trailing by 20.
Lassane is coming back.
And he struggled to get off the field in the last possession. He did not look 100%, and we can see him tugging on that left wrist as Lassane in the shotgun. And the ball is picked up.
That's the fumble Ruski.
As Biffle on the carry.
You know what? They got positive yardage on that play.
And this is the first time that they have been into Marian territory since late in the second quarter. So it'll be 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard pickup from Biffle. And Lassane, 3-step drop. Pass is going to be dropped. And that has been the story for St. Joe. As Downey over the middle was open, hit him in the numbers, and it drops to the turf. So 3rd down for the Huskies. Huskies are 1 of 6 on 3rd down here in the second half. 2 of 12 in the game.
Back to the 47. It's 3rd and 5 for St. Joe.
So 3rd and 5, line to gets the 42. Lassane, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. High snap. And it's going to be
recovered by Marian.
On the ground. Marian thinks they've got it. And they do. And Marian gets the ball right back.
It's Kurzeder.
That's going to be Seth Kurzeder on the fumble recovery.
I think that there was a high snap. And
You got a flag.
Biffle,
You got a flag on the far side of the field.
Biffle tried to catch the snap in front of Lassane, and that caused a fumble.
So again, the Knights force another turnover, 3rd turnover of the game.
That's the
4th turnover.
3 interceptions and
And
now
a
1
fumble.
fumble recovery.
The Knights had forced 7 turnovers
St. Joe 46-yard line.
prior to this. They were -1 in the turnover category coming into tonight's game. That'll change tonight as the handoff to Braxton Brooks. He'll get down close to the 40.
Brooks on the carry.
That's his first carry of tonight.
Gain of 5.
And the clock continuing to tick. As it's down to 4:20 remaining here in the 64th annual Holy War. As the handoff to Brooks right up the middle, and he'll get another first down.
This Marian Knight first down is brought to you by J-Mill Packaging and the DeRoll family.
So another first down for the Knights as the time now dwindles to under 4 minutes to go.
Run good for 7 yards, and a Marian Knights first down.
So Marr, shotgun formation. Again, gonna this time fake the handoff to Brooks, call his own number. He'll get wrapped up. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, probably lost a yard.
That was a missed handoff.
Marr on the carry, brought down by Owen Balin.
Balin once again causing havoc. So no gain on the play. So it'll be 2nd They're going to actually say he lost a yard. So 2nd and 11. Marr, pitch and catch to Deuce Owens. Deuce going to try to struggle to stay inbounds, but he's forced out of bounds.
Deuce Owens on the reception.
And they're going to spot him just at the 30-yard line. It'll be 5-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 6. Just a smidge under 3 to go. So 3rd down for the Knights. High snap brought down by Brooks.
Wow, good
Brooks
run.
going to cut to the middle. He's still on his feet at the 5. Touchdown, Marian. And Brooks going to continue to run all the way into the Mishawaka Knight. Brooks just danced around a couple of tacklers at the line of scrimmage, and he waltzes in.
Yeah, that's
and
his
a massive
third,
touchdown.
That's his 3rd rush of the night for 42 yards and 1 touchdown.
So the left side of that line, Horvath, Warbington, and even Preston Shue in on that one. As now Primrose, who missed his last extra point, hopes to make amends, and he does just that.
Hits the
as
scoreboard.
He bashes one off the scoreboard. That's just adding a little extra oomph to this one. So with 2:55 to go.
It's like a Kyle Schwarber home run. Hitting the score.
Knights go 46 yards, 4 plays, 2 minutes, 1 second. The touchdown, Braxton Brooks, 22-yard jaunt. And it is 27-0 Knights. And they look to even their mark at 2-2 going into a big, big game next weekend at I almost said TCU, but it's Everwise Free Field, where our coworker Tanner Camp will be doing that game.
Capped off by a 30-yard touchdown run by Braxton Brooks.
So Brooks with a 30-yard jaunt. 27-0. He's making the player of the game pick a little harder. But I think we've got our picks already.
Well, we can pick one player from each side of the ball.
I think that's what we'll do. We'll do one player from each team, each side of the ball. And it is 27-0. As the end over end kick, Hurley taken at the 1. And he's going to fall forward just before the 20-yard line. And it would not surprise me if Mike Davidson decides to throw some of his backups on. But, Jaden, if you got a team going for a shutout, you might as well just keep going with what you're doing.
Yeah, at least if you're this St. Joseph team, you want to at least leave with some dignity and not leave with a big donut on the scoreboard. But I think for that return, you can mark the tackle down for the turf monster on that one. Looks like he got a little tripped up on that return.
Reached up and grabbed Hurley around the ankles and ripped him down. So Lassane in at quarterback. He's going to give the handoff on the jet sweep, and
Kerzeder with the tackle.
as the Indians going, or the Huskies rather going, see, I knew I would do it. I knew I'd do it once. Going lower and lower into the depth chart. About Sami, 5'5", 165-pound running back.
That's his first run of the night. Now he's got a second run
But
of the
Sami
night.
again, now this time to the right side. Make a couple guys miss. And he'll get close to that first down.
Looks like he got it.
But Sami at 5'5", 160 pounds, makes it so hard to make contact with him. A little shifty and just hard for some of these big defensive linemen to bring him down.
Because they're so used to, when they're going to tackle somebody up high, they're so used to getting him in the chest. With Sami, they're either going to miss him or they're going to clock him right in the head. And he heads to the sidelines after 2 plays, and another flag on the play this time. It goes against St. Joseph. So the Huskies backed up to their 15-yard line. Sane now under center. He's going to hand it off. And Biffle is going to get tackled around the 30-yard line. It's going to be close to a pickup of 9 as we get under a minute remaining here in the game. And the Marian faithful are enjoying this one. The St. Joe student section has pretty much departed on that far side. The blackout student section that was on that far side down to just a mere few students. As Lassane is going to hand it off. And again, Biffle cuts back to the inside. Biffle still on his feet at the 45. There'll be a pickup of 15 and a first down.
That's Mitchell Fimble on the tackle.
Fimble throws a touchdown pass. He makes a couple tackles. He was the holder. And they're going to keep that clock running. And this, for all intents and purposes, could be the last play of the contest.
So I think it's safe to say that Marian is going to win this game. And out of the last 11 contests between Marian and St. Joe, Marian has won 9 and St. Joe has won twice.
And that's it. Marian pitches the shutout here and holds serve on Otulski Field as they knock off the South Bend St. Joseph Huskies 27-0 in a dominating performance by the defense. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have our final thoughts. We'll name our players of the game from both sides. We'll get you on your way as you're watching Knights football here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Together, we fought for our nation and its people. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will continue to support my country and my community. Then and now, Semper Fidelis remains my promise. Always faithful, always Marine.
Did you know there's a place right here in Mishawaka that provides comfort and care for families of sick or injured children? Ronald McDonald House Charities of Mishawaka gives families everything they need, whether it's a hot shower, a comfortable bed, or a home-cooked meal. This allows parents to truly prioritize the health and well-being of their child. Because of people in this community just like you, RMHC Mishawaka provides their services at zero cost to the families. Find out how you can volunteer or donate to rmhcmichiana.org.
Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org.
Back here at Otulski Field as both teams are at the 40-yard line as these great rivals do. They gather in prayer after the game is over, and the Mishawaka Marian student section, they can get a little crazy, and they have joined the rest of the Marian Knights football team on the field. And before we get you out of here, as the Knights 27-0 win, we're going to name our players of the game from both teams. Coach Rock, I'm going to go with you first. We're going to go with the Marian defense first. And when Marian needed a big play, they had a very big man on the defensive line who was able to not only make some plays happen, but he caused a lot of havoc and was also able to score a 77-yard interception return for a touchdown.
That's number 99, Caleb Johnson. He is a fun player to watch. He tries hard on every play, giving it his best. He's making tackles behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, intercepting the ball, returning it for a touchdown. Just, it's a joy to watch him play.
And for the St. Joe offense, unfortunately, just was not their day here at Otulski Field, but one guy that as soon as he got the ball in his hands was trying to make something happen, and that's their 5'9", 170-pound senior running back.
Brady Loniger. It was a tough night for him. Marian definitely was focusing their defense on stopping him. And also it was a tough night for him because St. Joe decided to just pass the ball instead of run.
All right, Jaden Yost, we're going to flip the card over. We're going to start with the St. Joe defense and a guy that we called his name a lot as he seemed to be on every play. And that was Owen Balint from his linebacker spot. It just seemed like every time a big play was needed for the St. Joe defense and they made a big play, Balint was in on it.
I mean, every time you look at the ball carrier, Balint was somewhere in the vicinity, whether he was the one making the tackle, assisting the tackle, or just being in the general area. I mean, whether he was near side or far side, he was making the play on the opposite end of the field regardless.
And when you look on the other side, if you can go to the Marian offense, you can go Lucas Marr, you can go Mitch Fimble, go Braxton Brooks, Deuce Owens. But in all reality, there were 5 guys that made this offense click, and they didn't get the ball all the time. They don't get the glory all the time, but they sure made things happen when Marian needed that offensive push.
That's going to be your 5 men up front. And, I mean, one of them touched the ball every play. But Preston Shue at your center position, Mark Warbington and Caden Lee at your guards. And the big man, Prescott Horvath, 6'8", 297 pounds. And Dorian Brooks, 6'1", 236-pound juniors to round out the tackle spot. When you have big tackles like 6'1" Dorian Brooks and 6'8" Prescott Horvath, nobody's coming off the edge, and it allows a perfect pocket shape for your quarterback. Whether you decide it's Lucas Marr or Mitch Fimble, it's proven that either one can be effective, especially if you've got a good pocket, and that's all because of the 5 men up front.
So that's going to do it for our coverage of Marian Knights football tonight. Owen Balint and Brady Longer, the players of the game for the St. Joseph Huskies. And for the victorious Mishawaka Marian Knights, Caleb Johnson on the defensive side and the entire offensive line for the Mishawaka Marian Knights are players of the game here in the 64th version of the Holy War. Our next broadcast of Mishawaka Marian Knights football will be on Friday, September 27th, when the Knights welcome the Panthers of South Bend, Washington.
I'm looking forward to it.
Opening kickoff 7 p.m., pregame at 6:30. So, for my broadcast partners, Jaden Yost, for Mike Rock, Liz Hoosier upstairs, JP Joubert. Once again, final score at the Holy War 2024. Marian shuts out the Huskies 27-0. From all of us at the Regional Radio Sports Network, we'll see you in 2 weeks here at Otulski Field for the Panthers and the Knights. Good night, everybody.